How do I change my email address? Hi everyone, Leo Notenboom here for askleo.com. Though people ask this frequently, the answer unfortunately is rarely simple. Changing an email address often means one thing to the person asking and something very different to your email providers. Some services make the change easy-ish. Others, not so much. Changing an email address is conceptually very simple. You used to get email at, say, oldme@randomisp.com, and now you want to use newme@somerandomservice.com. Everything about those email addresses is different. The username, oldme versus newme, the email domain, randomisp.com versus somerandomservice.com, and the provider, say randomisp Inc. versus some random service LLC. Each email account has one email address that identifies it. Thus, changing your email address means setting up an entirely new email account, even if you're staying with the same provider. Let's assume both our old and new email addresses are for free online email services like Yahoo, Gmail, Outlook.com, or any of a host of others. The process looks like this. Create a new account. This gives you a new email address. Tell your friends to start using that new email address. Change the email address on record at all the other online services you use, like stores and social media sites and newsletter subscriptions and online registrations and so on and so on. All of them. Export your contact list from your old account and import it into your new one, if possible. If you cannot, well, begin building your new contact list from scratch in your new account. Start using your new email account. Move any email saved in your old account that you want to preserve to your new account. This is rarely easy. You can forward each email individually to your new email address, or you can connect a desktop email program to both accounts using IMAP and then copy the email messages from one account to the other. Watch your old email account for services you forgot to update with your new email address. Change your email address at those services. Watch your old email account for people who haven't yet gotten the message and started using your new email address. Remind them from the new address to use your new email address and update their address books. Now, if you're already using a desktop email program like Thunderbird or Outlook Classic or similar, the process is ever so slightly simpler. Create a new account at the new provider. Configure your email program to use that new account as the default. Tell all your friends to use that new email address. Change the email address on record at other online services you use. Watch your old email account for services you forgot to update with your new email address. Change your email address at those services. Watch your old email account for people who haven't yet started using your new email address. Remind them from the new address to use your new email address and update their address books. Because you store all your email and contacts on your computer, you really don't need to worry about losing email. It's all saved regardless of what email account is being used, and all your contacts are there as well. But I don't want a whole new account, just a new email address. Many people just want the new email address that delivers to the same place their old email address did. Unfortunately, while email addresses and email accounts are technically two different things, in most cases, your email address is used to identify your email account. That means setting up a new email address means setting up a new account, with all of the hassle we've just talked about. Email providers make it difficult, if not nearly impossible, to move information stored in one account to another. Email sent to the old email address is delivered to the old email account, and email sent to the new email address is delivered to the new email account. End of story. Or is it? If you can keep the old account, there are a couple of techniques that may let you set up a new email address or account that can continue to manage your email in your old one. For example, forwards. Many email services now provide you the option to automatically forward emails sent from one account to another. For example, after setting up your new me at somerandomservice.com email address, you could then tell the old me at randomisp.com provider to automatically forward any email sent to that old email address to your new email address. You'll need to log into your old account periodically to make sure it's not shut down for lack of use, but other than that, you rarely need to touch it. You'll get email sent to the old address delivered to your new account. If you want to send email that looks like it came from the old email address, you'll need to set that up too with your new email provider. Sadly, some, but not all, email providers make that possible. The problem with forwards, by the way, is that they forward everything, including spam. That may cause your legitimate email, forwarded from that same source, to be more likely to be erroneously flagged as spam. Be sure to check your spam folder periodically. Fetches are like forwards, but from the opposite side. Rather than telling the old email service to automatically forward all email to the new, we configure the new email service to periodically fetch email from the old one. We usually call this a POP3 operation because it's set up just like configuring a desktop email program with POP3 to download your email. The difference is that rather than downloading it, you're simply moving it from the old email service to your new one. Once again, if you want to send email that comes from the old email address, it's going to take extra steps. But many services that offer this kind of POP3 remote fetching, they also make that part a little easier too. Aliases. Aliases is an additional email address configured with your existing email provider that delivers to the same email account. In fact, one of the most common uses of Outlook.com is to add an @outlook.com email address to an existing Hotmail account. Both are delivered to the same Outlook.com interface. The process keeps changing, but as of this recording, you can visit account.microsoft.com, click on Your Info on the left, and then edit Account Info on the right. Then in the Account Username section, you can add email. Google has announced the ability to add additional email addresses to an existing Gmail account. This hasn't rolled out yet, so we don't know the specifics. On the surface, it sounds similar to an email alias as described above. I have to stress that in all three cases, you must have and keep access to both the old and new accounts to keep the forwarding, the fetching, or the aliases working. What if I don't have access to the old account? So far, what I've been talking about is an orderly, planned transition from one account to another, and it assumes that you have access to both. Unfortunately, one common reason for changing your email address is that you've lost your old one and you can't get it back. When that happens, there's very little to be done. The best you can do is to set up your new account, tell all of your contacts, the ones you can remember anyway, try to change your contact email address at various online services, and move on with your life. Now, if you're going to make a new email address, I have one small recommendation for you. Get your own domain and set up access to an email address on that domain using the email provider of your choice. There are two big reasons for this. Your email address, the email address you share with the world, is then no longer tied to any specific service. It's yours for as long as you choose to own the domain, regardless of what email service you use to access it. You can change the service you use. If you set up access via your Google account and then you learn that Google is removing that ability, you can change it to be accessed by almost any other email service that supports it. Your email address remains the same even though you're changing how and where you access your email. There's one other benefit. All the cool names are available when you own your own domain. The name Leo, which is almost always taken on every email provider long before I ever get to it, is always available on every domain that I own. So I can be Leo at whatever domain I have. And for the record, this is exactly what I do. My email address, leo@askleo.com, is actually handled by Fastmail, It used to be routed through Gmail, but when Gmail discontinued that ability, I switched. My email address didn't change, only how I get it. For comments, for updates, for related links, and more, visit askleo.com/2178. I'm Leo Notenboom, and this is askleo.com. Thanks for watching.